is called Chifamba or Papa Zain. I'm a qualified chartered accountant and I'm from Zimbabwe. This is my wife, Beauty Masunda Chifamba. She's a qualified accountant or Mama Zain.
We got to know about Rehabet Ministries through my cousin. She's in China now. I told her about my situation, that I was depressed because we don't have children. We've been trying to have children for years now. And then she said to me, don't you wanna try this pastor? The man of God took me through the Bible study, and then he told me he did mention about the importance of being baptized. Yes, I was baptized before, but I wasn't baptized in water. It was one of those things when when they just sprinkle water on your face, and that was it. He explained to me the importance of being baptized in water, and then I did understand, and I took a step of faith. That's when I got baptized. When my cousin introduced me to the apostle, like when she told me about the apostle, she did mention that the apostle was a prophet, but I never got a prophecy till he came for baptism at the house. That's when he said to us, I see children playing in this house. We just looked at each other, and then when we left, I remember my husband was so angry. He said, you see, your pastors have started. Where does he see children?
Yes, with me, there was no way I could actually believe in that. Since my wife had fibroids and she was even operated, where we were told that she would never have children. I remember us even considering in vitro. Our friends actually did that. And they did it twice, but still it didn't work. Yes, they ended up adopting a child. So as we just said that, if it can't happen, it will never happen. So I didn't even believe what the apostle was saying.
But before we considered doing in vitro, we went to doctors, and the doctor told me that I had endometriosis. And then I had to go for an operation. We got married in 2011, and I had an operation in 2012, end of 2012. But then still we didn't conceive. And then after some years, after 4 years, from 2012, that's when we considered on doing in vitro. That was 2016. When we considered doing in vitro, we went to the doctor. The doctor said to me, I've got fibroids. There's no way I can do in vitro before I had an operation. I got operated for fibroids.
This apostle came to our house and told us about seeing children running in our house. What made me angry is that we even went to the biggest pastors in Zimbabwe, the prophets, where we paid and slept there for 3 days, and nothing happened. We came a year back to South Africa. She went alone because I told her I'm not going to go to any prophet anymore. She went there, I paid again, where she went and slept there. Still nothing happened. So I'd given up. The problem is it was actually affecting her more than it was affecting me, because with me, I'd made up my mind to say, even if I don't have children, I will not leave her.
We later received more prophecies, and I remember we were at the mountain with other members from church. The apostle said to me, Mama Chifamba, I see you with a pram, struggling to get into church. I just said, and then the other prophet that I got was in church when apostle said to them church members, buy them clothes for children. To me, it didn't make sense. I remember when I got the clothes from Mama Muzhidzwa and Pastor Muzhidzwa, it was very emotional because we didn't know what to do with the clothes. I came home, it was on the cell group, my husband was not there. When I got home, I showed my husband the clothes. We just looked at each other, we didn't know what to say. He didn't know whether to call the couple or not. And I remember we got a voucher from Mr. and Mrs. Mhlanga in church.
Yes, I remember him saying that I've never bought clothes from Woolworths, but I have this voucher and I'm going to give you guys to buy clothes for your children, for your child. For me, I was really impressed because As I was beginning to go to church and believing what they were doing and receiving love, I was actually starting to also believe in their prophecies, even though to me it didn't make sense. But I just said to myself, well, let's see what will happen. Two months later, I decided to get baptized. I remember them coming home, and we actually used my swimming pool for this baptism. Well, then we had another prophecy. That was in April 2018. It was during the Passover time, when we were told that we will not have another Passover without a child.
After the Passover, we had a breaking point night. And the theme of the breaking point night was, those that know their God, they shall do exploits and they shall be strong. On that breaking point night, I got a prophecy that this is my season. After getting the prophecy, we had a 3 weeks prayer line. Within those 3 weeks prayer line, and I realized that I had conceived. It was, I couldn't believe it, because it was something that was new to me. I've never been pregnant in my life. I've never had a miscarriage in my life. And to me, it was shocking. I remember when I tested that, when I found out that I was pregnant, I was just dancing in the house. I was so excited.
To me, even the results was something that didn't make sense. I thought, well, even doctors are told that sometimes they make mistakes. So I thought even that pregnancy test was wrong.
When you found out that you were pregnant, our first visit to the doctor, I remember I had pains, and when I went to the doctor said to me, the fetus is very squeezed. You've got multiple fibroids. I was so hopeless, because the doctor even prayed for me. When he prayed for me, yes, he prayed for me, but he didn't have hope. He told me if this pregnancy can survive, he doesn't know, he wouldn't know how to explain it medically.
I had no hope, actually. All I wanted to see, yes, the womb was growing, but still I didn't believe that anything is going to come out of that.
I remember when I went to the doctor, and the doctor said to me the baby is very squeezed, and he doesn't know whether the baby is going to survive or not. When I told Apostle about it, Apostle said to me he sees a playground for the baby. It was okay. I was in pain at the same time, and the doctor is telling me this, but Apostle is saying otherwise. He's saying something that that was not seen by the doctors. And then I remember my doctor went it was towards December. He went for a leave, December holidays. When he came back, he went for like 2 months. When he came back, he said to me, I see the child has got a lot of space. The baby has got a lot of space. I couldn't, now it was making sense to me, because I gotten the prophecy from Apostle. So to me, I had hope. And then when I went for another checkup with the doctor said to me, hey, because of your age, you're not gonna give birth naturally. It's gonna be complicated. You're gonna face a lot of bleeding because of your age. So it's a risk. But then Apostle said to me, no, everything will be fine. You're gonna give birth naturally, which I did give birth naturally. To me, I would say there is power in prophecy, and all I was told did happen.
Me, what stressed me more is that the doctors were saying it's either she will survive or the child, not both. And there I was now in a place where I didn't know what to do, where you are stressed in both sides because you want both of them. You don't want to lose any one of them. But when I was told that yes, there is a baby boy, I can't even explain the joy that I felt, even up to today. Well, Even after hearing that there is a child, those are emotions that you can't even explain. There are no words to explain, but you can just only say, it's God. It's God. That's when I realized that yes, He talks to us through His people. And that's when He was giving us those prophecies through the men of God. The ocean that we were crossing. Yes, it was more than 9 years. I met her in 2004, and only to have a child in 2019. It's like those films that you watch where it's just fiction everywhere. You can't even understand what's happening.
Those were the best moments for me. I would say it's one of the, I didn't know what hard it is to be a mother, and I have no explanation for the joy that I have now from the day I gave birth.
Yes, I remember after hearing the information, I called my parents and they were just dancing in the house. I'm sure even the neighbors were wondering what's this screaming all about, because to them they made a conclusion that I will never have a child. Everyone knew that I was married, but there were no children.
Advice to those that are going through the same situation, I would say delay is not denial, and there is God in heaven, and He does hear prayers, and He does answer prayers. It's not an easy journey, because I remember when we're going through these 9 years, there's certain things that we stopped doing. Like I would say, for myself, I stopped even going for baby showers. I couldn't attend baby showers because I was so hopeless. I was like, whenever I go to baby showers, I would be so heartbroken. So there's certain things that we just avoid, like family gatherings. You won't even attend family gatherings. But I would say, you know what, there is God in heaven, and don't lose hope.
You know what? Marriage is not, it's about two people being joined together. And a child is a gift from God. We don't get married for a child. But when you start receiving all these children, these are gifts that God is giving you. And it can take even 20 years. And yes, that if you are told that the child is coming, yes, you will receive. And you must always worship and praise your God.
What I can say about Reagan Ministries is there is so much love. When you get to Reagan Ministries, everyone gets involved in your problem. It doesn't matter, like they're so hopeful. They give you hope, and they stand by their faith, and it also uplifts your faith.
It was difficult. It was a very difficult journey where we tried all avenues, but it didn't work. But when we met this man of God, Apostle, to me, I don't know why they call him Apostle Chigumadzi. To me, he's Apostle Paul. He made me realize that with grace, everything is possible.
We gave birth to our baby boy on the 16th of April, that's 2019, and we named him Zain Chifamba, Zain, meaning God is gracious.